I really tried my best, please watch the video until the end.
The cold stone floor drains the heat from my heavy boots. Heavy armored footsteps echo through the dark, silent hall. This situation requires a highly logical and calm approach. Thousands of elite knights block the main exit path today. Their heavy steel shields form an unbreakable solid wall. I calculate the exact probability of our survival right now. The final result remains firmly fixed at absolute zero. Elara lies completely motionless on the hard, frozen ground. Her silver armor shatters under the massive kinetic force. A brutal impact previously crushed her magical defenses. She struggles to draw a single breath of freezing cold air. The Royal Guard commander raises his heavy steel longsword. Golden energy crackles violently along the sharp steel blade. He intends to execute her right here in the open courtyard. I slowly step forward through the freezing heavy rainstorm. The surrounding knights tighten their strong defensive grip. They consider me a completely useless and weak civilian man. My suppressed emotions keep my heart rate perfectly calm now. I kneel beside the fallen warrior without any hesitation. The freezing wet mud stains my dark leather coat heavily. I reach out and grab her trembling bare left hand firmly. Her pale skin feels completely freezing to the mere touch. A sudden spark of pure energy jumps between our cold fingers. System alert. The soul resonance sequence has finally started. Glowing blue cracks suddenly appear across my right arm. The surrounding air pressure drops at a massive rapid speed. Invisible glass seems to fracture right above our heavy heads. The royal commander suddenly hesitates in his muddy tracks. His combat instincts warn him of an unknown massive threat. He swings his heavy sword downward with brutal lethal force. The sharp steel blade stops completely in midair right now. An invisible kinetic barrier blocks the deadly royal weapon. System alert. Hidden potential analysis is now fully complete. Her suppressed fears and deep desires flood my own cold mind. I feel her deep childhood trauma of constant physical weakness. She always wanted the raw, absolute power to protect her people. The system begins to break down her tight internal restraints. System alert. The absolute soul lock is finally released today. The solid stone ground fractures beneath our heavy dark boots. Violent vibrations shake the entire ancient ruined fortress. A massive energy shockwave throws the closest knights backward. Their heavy steel armor dents heavily from the unseen impact. Elara slowly opens her eyes with terrifying new divine power. Her pale irises ignite with a blinding, pure, golden bright light. The physical laws of this world begin to warp very heavily. Gravity increases tenfold across the entire stone courtyard. Thousands of elite-trained soldiers collapse to their knees. The sheer pressure of her presence crushes their weak resolve. The royal commander drops his useless, heavy steel longsword. He struggles to breathe under the immense new gravity field. I watch the spectacular evolution with absolute cold calmness. I never choose the specific abilities for these wild awakenings. The system grants power based strictly on their inner deep soul. Elara always possessed the brave heart of a true golden ruler. Now her physical body perfectly matches her hidden spirit. She rises from the broken ground with absolute perfect grace. Glowing golden energy forms a majestic halo above her head. The surrounding air continues to shatter like fragile thin glass. I feel the immense heat radiating from her transformed new body. The dark storm clouds above us part in a perfect wide circle. Pure bright sunlight strikes her glowing silver armor directly. The surviving knights stare at her in complete, absolute awe. Their previous arrogance vanishes into pure, utter dark terror. She raises her bare hand toward the kneeling army commander. A massive, invisible force lifts him high into the freezing air. He thrashes helplessly against the supreme tight kinetic hold. Elara simply closes her fist with a slow, deliberate, dark motion. The commander flies backward and crashes into the stone wall. He instantly loses consciousness upon the brutal, hard impact. The rest of the army immediately drops their steel weapons. They finally understand the absolute futility of further combat. System alert. The target has successfully transcended all limits. The glowing blue cracks on my skin slowly fade away right now. My internal energy reserves remain completely untouched today. I am merely the catalyst for their incredible transformation. This dark world fears the hidden divinity within my own system. Entire kingdoms actively hunt me down across the vast continent. They believe my mere existence threatens their fragile peace. Every woman I touch becomes a living weapon of pure destruction. The emperor himself recently ordered my immediate execution. His foolish decree will only accelerate his inevitable dark fall. Absolute emotional synchronization triggers a much higher state. We call this dangerous phenomenon the ultimate divine resonance. I look at Elara as she surveys the defeated broken royal army. Her glowing golden eyes briefly meet my cold, calculating stare. A silent, dark understanding passes between our connected souls. She knows I hold the absolute key to her supreme divine power. The surrounding space continues to warp around her tall figure. Reality itself struggles to contain her newly awakened form. Distant thunder rumbles across the darkened evening storm sky. I must prepare for the next wave of imperial ruthless attackers. They will definitely send stronger warriors to capture me alive. My pragmatic mind calculates the optimal escape route right now. We need to leave this ruined stone fortress before midnight. Elara walks toward me with heavy, powerful, and confident steps. The crushed stone crumbles completely beneath her golden boots. She stops right in front of me and bows her glowing head. The immense heat of her aura warms my freezing cold, pale skin. I do not offer any words of comfort or useless, empty praise. My face remains a completely unreadable mask of pure, solid ice. System alert current. Emotional synchronization is highly stable. I turn around and begin walking toward the shattered iron gate. She follows me silently through the kneeling, defeated army. The soldiers refuse to look up from the muddy, wet, cold ground. They fear the golden monster that just destroyed their pride. The world outside this fortress remains completely unaware today. Soon the entire continent will feel the incoming huge shockwave. Other awakened women already sense my current dangerous path. One of them just destroyed a massive military stone stronghold. Another ally completely froze an entire raging deep ocean solid. They react instinctively to any threat against my own survival. Humanity will soon realize a very terrifying universal truth. I am not the actual monster in this dark, twisted fantasy world. The real danger comes from the loyal women who follow me. Each new connection pushes the world closer to total blind ruin. I simply provide the necessary spark for their rapid evolution. The cold wind howls violently through the broken stone walls. My dark coat flaps heavily against my armored leather boots. Elara stays exactly 2 steps behind my right shoulder now. Her golden aura illuminates the dark path ahead of us both. We step over the unconscious bodies of the elite royal guard. Their heavy steel plates offer zero protection against gravity. I check the systemic interface for any incoming new dark threats. System alert: multiple hostile targets detected in the far west. A new army marches toward our current geographical location. They want to claim the absolute power of the soul resonance. I adjust my dark leather gloves with slow, precise, calm movements. The glowing blue cracks pulse slightly beneath my cold, pale skin. I prepare to awaken another sleeping weapon of mass destruction. The cycle of endless escalation continues without any pause. We leave the destroyed courtyard and enter the dark forest. The ancient trees block the pale moonlight completely now. Elara projects her golden light to guide my steady footsteps. The surrounding shadows retreat from her overwhelming power. I analyze the tactical advantage of her new divine abilities. She can manipulate local gravity fields with absolute ease. This makes her an unstoppable force in close combat warfare. System alert: energy signature analysis is running very smoothly. Her internal power core stabilizes after the sudden awakening. I walk forward without looking back at the ruined stronghold. The Imperial forces will definitely investigate this disaster. They will find only broken armor and a completely crushed army. My reputation as a dangerous anomaly will spread even faster. The political conspiracies against me will grow much stronger. I simply do not care about their foolish mortal power games. My only objective is survival in this dark, hostile, cold universe. Every awakened soul brings me closer to the ultimate truth. The true nature of this strange world remains hidden from us all. I will break every single rule to uncover the final dark mystery. The path of the divine resonance has only just begun tonight. The ancient forest remains completely silent around us tonight. Thick, dark shadows conceal the hidden dangers perfectly well. I calculate the exact distance to the incoming enemy forces. System alert: hostile presence detected within 50 meters. Ilara stops walking and raises her glowing golden right hand. Her aura flares up against the freezing cold midnight wind. I sense the sudden shift in the local atmospheric pressure. 10 dark figures drop from the tall, ancient wooden branches. Their silent landing creates zero sound on the forest floor. These elite Imperial assassins lack basic tactical awareness. Ilara pushes her golden energy into the damp, cold, dark soil. The sudden gravity spike crushes the assassins instantly now. They underestimated the sheer scale of her new divine power. One assassin struggles to stand up under the immense weight. His dark leather armor cracks under the heavy invisible load. I observe his futile resistance with absolute cold detachment. System alert: biometric scan reveals a female combatant nearby. A slender figure falls from the highest tree branch suddenly. Her stealth magic failed against the expanding gravity field. She hits the hard ground with a heavy, brutal physical impact. Her silver mask shatters into dozens of tiny, sharp fragments. The Imperial army uses captive mages as disposable weapons. I walk slowly toward her broken and trembling physical form. The freezing wind blows her dark hair across her pale face. Her suppressed magical energy feels incredibly chaotic today. She tries to crawl away from my heavy dark leather boots now. The heavy gravity field prevents her from escaping this trap. I must initiate the next sequence to increase our advantage. I kneel down and place my bare hand on her freezing shoulder. A massive surge of pure kinetic energy hits my right arm now. Her internal trauma runs much deeper than I initially thought. System alert. The soul resonance sequence has started again. Glowing blue cracks spread rapidly across my cold, pale skin. This specific awakening requires a massive amount of energy. The surrounding space fractures into millions of tiny pieces. Invisible glass shatters violently above our heavy dark heads. Her hidden potential exceeds the standard Imperial parameters. I dive deep into her suppressed fears and dark hidden desires. The Imperial masters tortured her for many long, painful years. She simply wants to erase her enemies from this cruel reality. System alert. The Absolute Soul Lock is finally released today. A blinding flash of purple light consumes the entire dark area. The physical laws of this universe begin to warp heavily now. The captive assassin floats slowly into the freezing night air. Dark purple energy forms a massive halo behind her pale head. Her new divine form manipulates the fabric of space directly. The surviving Imperial soldiers stare at her in absolute terror. They drop their heavy steel weapons onto the wet, cold ground. Their previous arrogance completely vanishes without a trace. She raises her glowing hands toward the terrified dark forest. The space around the assassins twists into a tight, heavy knot. This spatial distortion will crush their physical bodies soon. A massive kinetic shockwave throws the enemies far away now. They crash into the ancient trees and lose consciousness fast. She eliminated the entire vanguard without shedding any blood. System alert. The target has successfully transcended all limits. The glowing cracks on my arm slowly fade into nothingness now. My internal energy reserves remain completely untouched today. The purple spatial anomaly stabilizes around her slender body. She lands softly on the frozen ground right in front of me now. I evaluate her combat efficiency with absolute cold precision. Her glowing purple eyes meet my emotionless cold stare now. A silent understanding passes between our connected dark souls. She knows I hold the absolute key to her supreme divine power. Ilara steps forward and stands right beside the new companion. Their combined auras push the freezing cold night wind away. I now control 2 living weapons of absolute mass destruction. I turn around and continue walking through the dark, dense woods. Both women follow me silently without any useless questions. The Imperial army will definitely send a much larger force soon. System alert: global resonance network detects a massive shift. The earth trembles slightly beneath my heavy dark leather boots. Another awakened ally just destroyed a major Imperial fortress. The Emperor will panic when he hears this terrible news today. His entire military structure crumbles under the unseen pressure. He cannot fight an enemy that constantly evolves beyond limits. We reach the edge of the ancient forest before the early dawn. A massive stone bridge spans across a raging, deep, dark river. This strategic location provides a perfect defensive choke point. Thousands of heavily armored soldiers guard the stone crossing. Their bright steel halberds reflect the early morning pale light. The Western Army commander anticipated my exact escape route. I stop walking and observe the massive enemy formation quietly. The freezing river mist clings to my heavy dark leather coat. A direct frontal assault requires too much unnecessary energy. Elara steps forward and prepares to manipulate the local gravity. Her golden aura melts the freezing frost on the nearby stones. She wants to crush the entire army with one single heavy strike. I raise my left hand and signal her to hold her current position. She immediately drops her glowing hands and steps back silently. The new shadow manipulator needs to test her spatial abilities. I look at the purple glowing woman standing on my right side. She nods slowly and walks toward the massive stone bridge now. Her deep hatred for the Empire fuels her immense divine power. The Imperial Guards spot her slender figure in the thick mist. They raise their heavy steel shields and form a solid, tight wall. Their standard military tactics are completely useless right now. The bridge commander shouts a loud order to his elite archers. Hundreds of sharp steel arrows fly through the cold morning air. They intend to eliminate the unknown threat from a safe distance. The spatial manipulator simply snaps her freezing pale fingers. A massive purple portal opens directly above the enemy formation. She linked the spatial coordinates with absolute perfect accuracy. The flying steel arrows enter a small spatial rift in the sky. They instantly teleport and fall right back onto the royal army. The soldiers suffer heavy kinetic impacts from their own weapons. Heavy steel armor dents violently under the sudden falling rain. The elite archers drop their wooden bows in absolute pure panic. Their minds cannot comprehend this impossible spatial anomaly. System alert. Spatial distortion field is expanding very rapidly. The massive stone bridge vibrates under the extreme heavy stress. She plans to completely dismantle the entire physical structure. Dark purple energy wraps around the thick, ancient stone pillars. The solid rock fractures into thousands of floating tiny pieces. Gravity loses its grip on the broken elements of the huge bridge. The Imperial soldiers lose their balance on the shifting stones. They fall backward as the ground disappears beneath their boots. The sheer kinetic force throws them away from the raging river. The bridge commander tries to rally his terrified broken troops. A sudden spatial wave hits his heavy steel chest plate directly. The brutal invisible impact knocks him completely unconscious now. The entire Western army retreats into the surrounding dark woods. They leave their heavy weapons and supplies on the broken ground. Survival always overrides military discipline in these situations. The spatial manipulator lowers her glowing hands very slowly now. The floating stone pieces freeze perfectly in the cold, damp air. She created a permanent spatial anomaly over the raging river. System alert. The target has stabilized her internal energy core. The purple halo behind her head dims into a soft, glowing light. Her incredible display of power consumed very little raw energy. I walk onto the floating stone fragments without any hesitation. The spatial magic holds my heavy weight with absolute pure ease. This new path allows us to cross the dangerous river safely today. Elara follows closely behind me with her golden aura shining. The new companion takes the rearguard position instinctively now. They form a perfectly balanced tactical unit without any training. We reach the opposite bank of the deep, dark, raging, cold river. The dark forest gives way to a massive, open, frozen, rocky plain. This harsh environment offers zero cover from aerial attacks. I check the systemic interface for global tactical updates again. Multiple red warning signals flash across my cold inner vision. The Emperor has mobilized his elite Royal Aviation Division now. System alert: high-altitude threats detected approaching rapidly. A loud mechanical hum echoes across the frozen rocky wasteland. They sent armored war airships to carpet bomb our exact location. Huge dark shadows fall over our completely exposed position now. 3 massive steel airships break through the thick gray clouds. Their heavy kinetic cannons can easily level an entire small city. Elara steps in front of me and ignites her blinding golden aura. The sudden heat melts the frozen ground beneath her heavy boots. She intends to pull the massive airships down from the cold sky. I observe their coordinated defensive strategy with cold silence. The massive steel airships descend from the freezing sky. Their heavy kinetic cannons aim directly at our position. I calculate the exact trajectory of their incoming attack. Ilara raises both her glowing hands toward the dark clouds. A massive gravity field engulfs the leading iron warship. The heavy metal hull groans under the extreme unseen pressure. I watch the spectacular display with absolute cold logic. The first airship loses its altitude at a terrifying speed. Its massive spinning propellers snap from the sudden strain. The spatial manipulator steps forward to assist her new ally. She opens a large purple portal above the second steel ship. The Imperial gunners fire their heavy kinetic energy blasts. The bright blue projectiles enter the swirling spatial rift. They instantly exit directly behind the third flying vessel. A brutal kinetic shockwave destroys its main steering engine. The sudden impact knocks the entire crew completely unconscious. System alert. Multiple enemy targets neutralized successfully. The three massive warships crash into the frozen rocky plain. Heavy steel plates shatter upon hitting the solid hard ground. A thick cloud of gray dust obscures the entire battlefield. I observe the massive destruction without a single emotion. These foolish Imperial attacks only waste my valuable time. Ilara lowers her glowing arms with slow, deliberate motions. The intense heat from her body melts the surrounding frost. We must investigate the broken wreckage for any survivors. I walk slowly through the thick, blinding gray dust cloud. The crushed metal vessels emit a loud, dangerous hissing sound. My heavy, dark boots crush the shattered steel fragments now. System alert. A faint life signature detected in the debris. I approach the ruined command bridge of the first airship. A female Imperial pilot lies trapped under a heavy console. Her dark military uniform is torn from the brutal hard crash. She struggles to push the massive steel weight off her chest. Her suppressed magical energy feels incredibly cold and dense. The Empire forces their best mages into aerial combat roles. I calculate the strategic value of her unique hidden power. She could provide excellent crowd control for our long journey. I kneel beside her broken body without any hesitation today. She looks at my cold, pale face with absolute, pure, dark terror. I reach out and grab her freezing, bare right hand firmly. A sudden spark of pure kinetic energy jumps between our skin. System alert. The soul resonance sequence has finally started. Glowing blue cracks suddenly appear across my right arm again. The surrounding air pressure drops at a massive rapid speed. Invisible glass seems to fracture right above our heavy heads. System alert. Hidden potential analysis is now fully complete. Her suppressed fears and deep desires flood my own cold mind. She always feared the burning heat of the kinetic explosions. Her soul craves the absolute stillness of the frozen winter. The system begins to break down her tight internal restraints. System alert. The absolute soul lock is finally released today. A blinding flash of pure white light consumes the entire area. The heavy steel console shatters into tiny frozen ice crystals. The physical laws of this world begin to warp very heavily. The ambient temperature drops to absolute zero in 1 second. A massive wave of pure frost expands across the rocky plain. The broken airships instantly freeze solid under the pressure. I watch her spectacular evolution with absolute cold calmness. The new ice monarch rises slowly from the frozen metallic ruins. Glowing white energy forms a majestic halo above her pale head. Her dark eyes ignite with a blinding, pure, bright blue light. The surrounding air continues to shatter like fragile, thin glass. I feel the immense freezing aura radiating from her new body. System alert. The target has successfully transcended all limits. The glowing blue cracks on my skin slowly fade away right now. My internal energy reserves remain completely untouched today. The ice manipulator steps gracefully onto the frozen hard ground. She bows her glowing head toward me with absolute pure respect. I do not offer any words of comfort or useless empty praise. My face remains a completely unreadable mask of pure solid ice. System alert. Current emotional synchronization is highly stable. Ilara and the spatial user walk toward our current location. Their golden and purple auras push the freezing mist backward. The three divine women stand perfectly aligned behind my back. I now control an unstoppable force of pure natural destruction. The imperial capital lies exactly 50 miles to the deep north. I turn around and begin walking toward the distant mountains. The awakened women follow me silently without any questions. Their combined divine presence distorts the local atmosphere. The frozen rocky ground crumbles beneath our heavy dark boots. We march forward with absolute perfect military precision now. System Alert Global Resonance Network detects a massive shift. A distant ally just obliterated an entire Imperial naval fleet. She froze the deep raging ocean to stop their heavy warships. The Emperor must be trembling in his high golden throne room. His grand military strategy crumbles into absolute useless dust. He cannot predict the chaotic nature of the divine awakenings. I adjust my dark leather gloves with slow, precise, calm movements. The freezing wind howls violently across the open, empty wasteland. We encounter a massive steel barricade on the main open road. Hundreds of elite defenders wait behind the thick metal walls. They aim their heavy kinetic rifles at my approaching dark figure. The Ice Monarch steps forward to demonstrate her absolute power. She raises her pale right hand toward the massive steel barricade. A terrifying blizzard instantly forms from the thin, cold air. The sudden temperature drop shatters their heavy kinetic weapons. The elite soldiers collapse into a state of deep hibernation. Their heavy steel armor freezes completely solid in mere seconds. She removed the entire blockade without a single physical strike. I observe her combat efficiency with pure logical satisfaction. System Alert. Tactical advantage remains at the absolute maximum. We walk straight through the frozen, silent enemy military camp. The sleeping soldiers pose absolutely zero threat to our mission. The sky grows incredibly dark as we approach the capital gates. Massive stone towers loom over the frozen, desolate landscape. The Emperor gathered his final remaining elite royal forces here. I calculate the exact probability of their successful defense. The final result remains firmly fixed at absolute zero today. Ilara ignites her golden aura to light our dangerous path now. The spatial user opens a series of purple portals in the dark sky. The Ice Monarch prepares a massive freezing storm for the enemy. I am merely the cold catalyst for their incredible transformation. This world fears the hidden divinity within my own deep system. Every woman I touch becomes a living weapon of pure destruction. The Emperor will soon pay the heavy price for his foolish decree. Absolute emotional connection triggers a much higher divine state. We call this dangerous phenomenon the ultimate divine resonance. I simply provide the necessary spark for their rapid evolution. The heavy iron gates of the capital city slowly begin to open. Thousands of heavily armored guards march out in tight formation. Their steel halberds reflect the glowing auras of my new allies. I stop walking and observe the massive army with cold silence. The three divine women step in front of me to protect my life. System Alert. Maximum threat level detected in the immediate area. The cycle of endless escalation continues without any pause today. I prepare to witness the total destruction of the Imperial legacy. Humanity will soon realize a very terrifying universal truth. I am not the actual monster in this dark, twisted fantasy world. The real danger comes from the loyal women who follow my path. We step forward into the ultimate battle for absolute survival. The royal commander shouts a loud order to his terrified troops. They charge forward with absolute blind panic in their dark eyes. Ilara slams her golden boots into the frozen solid rocky ground. A massive gravity wave crushes the first line of enemy attackers. The spatial user twists the surrounding air into a tight knot. Elite guards fly backward from the massive unseen kinetic impact. The Ice Monarch unleashes a heavy blast of pure absolute zero. The remaining soldiers freeze instantly in their desperate tracks. System Alert enemy vanguard has been completely neutralized now. I walk slowly through the frozen statues of the defeated army. The path to the Grand Imperial Palace is finally wide open for us. My pragmatic mind calculates the optimal route to the high throne. We will end this pointless war before the morning sun rises again. The true nature of this strange world remains hidden from us all. I will break every single rule to uncover the final dark mystery. We leave the frozen battlefield behind us right now. The massive stone palace doors loom in the distance. I calculate the structural integrity of the main gate. System alert structural analysis reveals heavily reinforced steel plating. Ilara steps forward with her glowing golden aura burning. She gathers immense gravitational pressure in her right hand. The heavy stone ground fractures beneath her leather boots. A massive, invisible kinetic wave strikes the palace doors. The reinforced steel bends inward under the extreme weight. Heavy metal hinges snap with a deafening metallic screech. I watch the absolute destruction with pure, cold logic. The massive palace gates crash onto the marble courtyard. A thick cloud of white dust obscures my cold vision. The spatial manipulator raises her glowing dark purple hands. A sudden spatial distortion blows the heavy dust away. Hundreds of elite palace defenders wait inside the courtyard. Their heavy energy rifles aim directly at my dark chest. The Ice Monarch steps gracefully to my left side today. She drops the surrounding temperature to absolute zero again. The royal guards shiver violently in their steel armor. I observe their futile resistance without a single emotion. System alert. Enemy combat efficiency has dropped significantly today. A tall female knight steps ahead of the terrified defenders. She carries a massive glowing blue kinetic energy sword. Her heavy silver armor reflects the cold morning light. I sense an incredible amount of suppressed magical power. The Empire forces their strongest warriors into blind servitude. She charges forward with absolute blinding speed and precision. The heavy marble floor cracks under her armored boots. Ilara prepares to crush her with a heavy gravity wave. I raise my bare right hand to stop my golden ally. The golden aura fades instantly at my silent command. I want to test this loyal royal knight myself today. The female warrior swings her massive kinetic energy sword. I sidestep the heavy, brutal attack with perfect timing. The glowing blue blade smashes into the solid ground. A massive shockwave throws the surrounding guards far away. The knight loses her balance from the mist-heavy strike. I step closer to her exposed, heavy silver metal armor. My bare left hand touches her cold metal shoulder now. A massive surge of pure, absolute energy enters my body. System alert. The soul resonance sequence has started again. Glowing blue cracks spread rapidly across my pale skin. The surrounding space fractures into millions of tiny pieces. Invisible glass shatters violently above our heavy dark heads. Her hidden potential exceeds the standard Imperial Royal parameters. I dive deep into her suppressed dark fears and desires. The Emperor forced her to execute innocent civilian populations. She simply wants to become a true, righteous, holy protector. System alert. The absolute soul lock is finally released today. A blinding flash of silver light consumes the wide courtyard. The physical laws of this dark universe warp very heavily. Her heavy silver armor shatters into tiny floating fragments. Pure radiant energy forms a massive halo behind her head. 6 glowing wings of solid light erupt from her back. The surrounding air pressure drops at a massive rapid speed. The royal guards drop their weapons in absolute pure terror. They fall to their knees before her supreme divine presence. System alert. The target has successfully transcended all limits. The glowing cracks on my arm fade into nothingness now. My internal energy reserves remain completely untouched right now. The new Valkyrie lands softly on the broken marble floor. Her glowing silver eyes meet my emotionless, cold, dark stare. She bows her radiant head with absolute pure, deep respect. I evaluate her combat efficiency with absolute cold precision. She raises her glowing hand toward the terrified royal guards. A massive wave of pure solid light washes over them. The invisible kinetic force knocks the entire battalion unconscious. She eliminated the inner defense without shedding any red blood. I observe the massive destruction with pure logical satisfaction. System alert. Tactical advantage remains at the absolute maximum. The 4 divine women stand perfectly aligned behind my back. Their combined auras push the morning mist completely far away. We walk straight through the silent, defeated royal-wide courtyard. The massive golden doors of the royal throne room wait. I calculate the exact distance to the terrified false emperor. He hides behind his useless, heavy steel barricades right now. The spatial user opens a massive purple portal directly ahead. We bypass the thick golden doors without touching them today. The grand throne room feels incredibly cold and very empty. Hundreds of elite shadow assassins hang from the high ceiling. They wait for my signal to drop down completely silently. System alert. Multiple hostile life signatures detected above us now. Ilara steps forward and manipulates the local room gravity field. The sudden massive weight pulls the assassins down very violently. They crash into the hard marble floor, losing consciousness fast. Their dark leather armor shatters from the brutal heavy impact. I walk over their broken bodies without any slight hesitation. The false emperor sits on his high golden royal throne. His heavy royal robes tremble in the freezing cold wind. The ice monarch drops the room temperature even further down. Thick white frost covers the ancient golden tall stone pillars. The emperor stares at my cold face in absolute terror. He finally realizes the true nature of his dangerous enemy. I am merely the cold catalyst for their incredible evolution. System alert. Global Resonance Network detects a massive shift now. The earth trembles slightly beneath my heavy dark leather boots. Another awakened ally just destroyed the Eastern Military Command Post. The entire Imperial structure crumbles under the unseen massive pressure. I stop walking at the base of the high throne. The four divine women surround the terrified old royal man. Their combined auras distort the physical fabric of local reality. Invisible glass fractures violently all around the high golden throne. The Emperor tries to activate his hidden magical defensive artifact. A glowing red crystal pulses in his trembling, weak hand. The spatial user simply snaps her freezing, pale, bare fingers. A small purple portal swallows the dangerous, glowing red crystal. His final desperate hope vanishes into the empty, dark void. I observe his utter despair with absolute, pure, cold detachment. The Valkyrie steps forward with her glowing silver bright wings. She points her radiant hand at the false weak ruler. A massive kinetic shockwave throws him off the golden throne. He crashes onto the hard marble floor, losing consciousness instantly. System alert. The primary target has been completely neutralized now. The long, cruel reign of the Dark Empire finally ends. I walk up the heavy golden stairs very slowly now. I sit on the massive, cold, golden royal high throne. The heavy metal feels incredibly uncomfortable against my dark back. The four women kneel before me in perfect, tight synchronization. Their glowing auras illuminate the dark, empty, grand royal hall. System alert. Absolute emotional synchronization is approaching right now. The hidden level of the system begins to unlock today. I feel a massive surge of pure, absolute divine power. The divine resonance state activates across the entire dark continent. Every single woman I touched suddenly feels the massive shift. Gravity completely reverses in the distant northern mountain range now. Space tears open above the massive western deep blue ocean. My pragmatic mind calculates the consequences of this global event. We have transcended the boundaries of normal human existence today. The surviving human nations will definitely form new military alliances. They will try to hunt us down without any mercy. Their massive armies will shatter against our absolute divine power. I look at the unconscious emperor on the marble floor. He represents the absolute failure of ordinary mortal blind ambition. Ilara rises gracefully from the cold, hard marble floor now. Her golden eyes burn with intense, pure, divine, blind loyalty. The new era of absolute dark fantasy finally begins today. The spatial manipulator steps toward the massive broken glass windows. She looks down at the ruined imperial dark capital city. Thousands of defeated soldiers wander the empty, dark, cold streets. They lost their supreme commander in a single terrifying night. The Ice Monarch freezes the main gates permanently shut now. Nobody will enter this grand palace without my explicit permission. System alert defensive perimeter established with maximum efficiency now. The Valkyrie spreads her 6 glowing silver wings very wide. She projects a massive dome of pure, solid, bright light. The energy shield covers the entire high royal stone mountain. I observe their tactical decisions with absolute cold, pure approval. They no longer need my direct verbal military combat commands. The soul resonance network connects our minds perfectly right now. I can feel their thoughts echoing inside my cold head. They view me as the absolute center of local reality. This level of devotion requires careful and precise daily management. A single mistake could trigger a massive global dark catastrophe. I close my eyes and stabilize the heavy resonance network. System alert, global energy levels are returning to normal now. The spatial fractures slowly mend themselves back together right now. The dark fantasy world takes a deep, silent, cold breath. We have completely rewritten the strict rules of human existence. I open my cold eyes and look forward once again. The next phase of absolute global domination finally begins tomorrow. I will find every single suppressed mortal woman out there. I will break their heavy chains with absolute cold logic. They will become the ultimate divine weapons of my will. The cold morning sun rises over the broken capital city. Thick gray clouds cover the distant high mountain peaks. I sit silently on the massive golden royal high throne. The 4 divine women stand perfectly still beside me. Their glowing auras illuminate the dark, cold throne room. System alert. Long-range scanners detect massive movement. A massive coalition army marches toward our current base. Neighboring kingdoms want to destroy my dangerous network. I calculate their combined military strength very quickly. The tactical probability of their success remains at 0. Ilara turns her glowing golden eyes toward the heavy doors. She senses the immense heavy vibrations in the solid ground. The spatial manipulator opens a large, dark purple portal. We observe the approaching military forces through the rift. Thousands of heavy steel tanks roll across the frozen plain. The ice monarch lowers the room temperature significantly now. She wants to freeze the entire enemy vanguard immediately. I raise my bare left hand to halt her aggressive action. We must wait for the optimal tactical engagement distance. System alert. Enemy forces are deploying heavy siege weapons. The Valkyrie steps forward with her 6 bright silver wings. She projects a massive light shield over the palace walls. Heavy kinetic artillery shells slam into the radiant barrier. The massive explosions create blinding flashes of bright light. The solid energy dome absorbs the brutal kinetic impacts. I watch the futile enemy bombardment with absolute cold logic. They waste their valuable ammunition on an unbreakable shield. 2 shadow assassins enter the throne room from the ceiling. They carry a heavily bound female prisoner between them now. She wears the dark green uniform of a coalition combat medic. The assassins drop her roughly onto the hard marble floor. She looks at my emotionless, pale face with absolute terror. I sense a massive reserve of suppressed healing magic inside. The coalition forces her to mend their broken, bloody soldiers. She absorbs their physical pain into her own fragile body. I walk slowly down the heavy golden stairs toward her now. The heavy dark leather boots echo loudly in the silent hall. I kneel beside the terrified medic without any hesitation. My bare right hand touches her trembling, cold left shoulder. System alert. The soul resonance sequence has finally started. Glowing blue cracks spread rapidly across my pale right arm. The surrounding air pressure drops at a massive, rapid speed. Invisible glass shatters violently above our heavy dark heads. Her hidden potential exceeds the standard medical parameters. I dive deep into her suppressed dark fears and hidden desires. She wants to reverse the absolute flow of biological decay. The system breaks down her tight internal mental restraints. System alert. The absolute soul lock is finally released today. A blinding flash of emerald light consumes the wide throne room. The physical laws of this dark universe warp very heavily now. Her dark green uniform shatters into tiny floating fragments. Pure life energy forms a massive glowing halo behind her head. The ambient room temperature stabilizes to a perfect warm state. The broken marble floor instantly repairs itself beneath us. I observe her spectacular evolution with absolute cold calmness. The new druid rises slowly from the glowing emerald energy. Her bright green eyes meet my emotionless, cold, dark stare now. She bows her radiant head with absolute, pure, deep respect today. System alert. The target has successfully transcended all limits. The glowing cracks on my arm fade into nothingness right now. My internal energy reserves remain completely untouched today. The life manipulator steps gracefully toward the open balcony. She points her pale, glowing hand at the massive enemy army. A massive wave of pure emerald energy washes over the plains. The frozen rocky ground suddenly erupts with massive thick vines. Giant wooden roots crush the heavy steel coalition battle tanks. The thick metal armor bends under the immense natural pressure. Thousands of elite soldiers drop their heavy kinetic weapons. The glowing vines wrap around their bodies with gentle force. The entire enemy vanguard falls into a deep, peaceful slumber. I watch the massive tactical victory with pure, cold logic. She eliminated the massive threat without shedding any red blood. System alert. Tactical advantage remains at the absolute maximum. The 5 divine women stand perfectly aligned behind my back. Their combined auras push the dark storm clouds completely away. The coalition commander watches his massive army fail instantly. He orders the heavy aerial bombardment to commence right now. Hundreds of sleek metal fighter jets scream across the blue sky. They drop massive kinetic bombs toward our high stone mountain. The spatial user raises her glowing dark purple hands upward. She opens a massive spatial rift directly above the royal palace. The heavy falling bombs enter the swirling dark purple void. They instantly exit directly behind the fleeing metal aircraft. Brutal kinetic shockwaves destroy the main steering jet engines. The sudden massive impacts knock the enemy pilots unconscious. System alert. Multiple aerial targets neutralized successfully now. The broken fighter jets crash safely into the empty wasteland. I calculate the remaining military strength of the broken enemy. The final combat result remains firmly fixed at absolute 0. The Valkyrie drops the massive solid light defensive shield now. We walk straight out onto the massive open stone balcony. The freezing wind howls violently across the high dark towers. I observe the ruined coalition forces with absolute cold silence. The surviving commanders wave a large white flag of surrender. They finally realize the true nature of their dangerous enemy. I am merely the cold catalyst for this incredible evolution. System Alert Global Resonance Network detects another massive shift. The earth trembles slightly beneath my heavy dark leather boots. A distant ally just captured the southern desert trade routes. She turned the burning golden sand into solid, clear glass. The entire global structure crumbles under the unseen pressure. I turn my cold gaze back to the terrified coalition leaders. They kneel in the frozen mud before my divine loyal army. The new druid creates a bridge of solid, thick wooden roots. The massive structure connects the high balcony to the ground. We walk down the organic path with absolute military precision. The defeated generals tremble violently in their heavy armor. I stop directly in front of the Supreme Coalition commander. His pale face reflects the absolute pure terror in his soul. He tries to speak, but his dry throat produces zero sound. The Ice Monarch freezes his heavy steel sword completely solid. The fragile frozen metal shatters into tiny harmless pieces now. I do not offer any words of comfort or useless empty praise. My face remains a completely unreadable mask of pure, solid ice. System alert. Enemy surrender has been fully accepted right now. The 5 divine women surround the broken enemy command group. Their combined auras distort the physical fabric of local reality. Invisible glass fractures violently all around the quiet field. I order the spatial user to open a portal to their capital. A massive purple rift tears through the cold morning atmosphere. We will take control of their massive industrial central hubs. The massive global conquest continues without any slight pause. I step through the swirling purple portal without looking back. The awakened women follow me silently into the dark void today. We arrive in the center of a massive steel industrial city. Thick black smoke blocks the bright morning sun completely now. Thousands of factory workers stare at us in absolute shock. They drop their heavy metal tools onto the dirty concrete floor. The local military police activate their loud warning sirens. Ilara steps forward and manipulates the local city gravity field. The massive loud sirens crush inward under the extreme weight. Absolute deafening silence falls over the massive steel city. I calculate the optimal path to the central governing tower. System alert hostile mechanical units detected in the local area. Heavy automated combat drones fly out from the dark alleyways. They aim their heavy kinetic blasters at my dark leather coat. The druid raises her glowing pale hands toward the steel sky. Massive thick vines erupt from the solid concrete city streets. They snatch the flying drones right out of the polluted air. The heavy metal machines crush into useless broken scrap parts. I walk slowly through the destroyed mechanical combat debris. My pragmatic mind evaluates the incredible efficiency of my team. We will end this pointless global war before the week finishes. The true nature of this strange world remains hidden from us. I will break every single rule to uncover the final dark mystery. The massive steel governing tower looms directly ahead today. Thick, toxic smog rolls across the broken concrete city streets. I calculate the exact structural density of the high, dark walls. System alert. Hostile thermal signatures detected inside now. Hundreds of heavily armored corporate guards block the main path. They hold massive kinetic pulse rifles with trembling, weak hands. Their heavy combat boots stomp loudly on the cracked pavement. I observe their pathetic defensive formation without any emotion. The corporate commander shouts useless orders through a megaphone. His loud voice echoes across the empty, dark industrial zone. The ice monarch steps smoothly past my right shoulder right now. She drops the local temperature to absolute zero very fast. The heavy kinetic pulse rifles freeze completely solid very fast. Brittle metal shatters into tiny, useless pieces on the floor. The corporate guards collapse into deep thermal unconsciousness. I walk past their frozen bodies with pure, absolute calculation. The massive titanium blast doors seal the main tower entrance. Ilara raises her glowing golden hands toward the heavy metal. A massive wave of pure gravity crushes the thick titanium gate. The heavy metal folds inward like useless thin paper right now. We enter the dark corporate lobby with absolute silent steps. Emergency red lights flash across the high ceiling structure now. The spatial manipulator opens a purple portal to the top floor. I step through the swirling dark void without any hesitation. The Supreme Corporate Director sits behind a massive glass desk. He stares at my pale, emotionless face in absolute pure terror. His expensive dark suit trembles under the heavy air pressure. I evaluate his zero combat potential with pure cold logic today. System alert. Primary target displays extreme psychological fear. The Valkyrie projects a solid light field around the wide room. Nobody will escape this high tower without my strict permission. I look past the terrified director toward the back solid wall. A massive, glowing blue cylinder dominates the entire dark space. Thick, heavy power cables connect the glass tube to the ceiling. A young, pale woman floats inside the glowing blue liquid tank. Heavy steel restraints bind her thin arms and fragile, bare legs. She serves as the living biological battery for the entire city. I sense an incredible amount of suppressed electrical energy now. The corporation exploits her unique soul for pure financial gain. I walk slowly toward the massive glowing blue containment glass. The heavy dark leather boots echo loudly on the hard steel floor. The corporate director tries to press a hidden red alarm button. The druid summons a massive thick wooden vine from the floor. The heavy green root crushes the glass desk into tiny fragments. The sudden kinetic impact knocks the weak director unconscious. I ignore the pathetic human garbage and reach the glowing tube. My bare right hand touches the freezing cold reinforced glass. System alert energy barrier prevents direct physical contact now. I clench my right fist and gather pure dense kinetic energy fast. A single powerful strike shatters the heavy thick blue glass. Thousands of glowing liquid gallons spill across the steel floor. The pale-bound woman falls forward into my waiting cold arms. Her freezing wet skin touches my bare dark right hand directly. System alert. The soul resonance sequence has finally started now. Glowing blue cracks spread rapidly across my pale right arm. The surrounding room pressure drops at a massive rapid speed now. Invisible glass shatters violently above our heavy dark heads. Her hidden potential exceeds the standard electrical parameters. I dive deep into her suppressed dark fears and hidden desires. She wants to destroy the machines that caused her deep pain. The system breaks down her tight internal mental restraints now. System alert. The absolute soul lock is finally released today. A blinding flash of neon blue light consumes the wide, dark room. The physical laws of this dark universe warp very heavily again. Her heavy steel restraints shatter into tiny floating fragments. Pure electrical energy forms a massive glowing halo behind her. Thick blue lightning bolts strike the solid steel tower floor. I observe her spectacular evolution with absolute cold calmness. The new technomancer rises slowly from the glowing blue energy. Her bright neon eyes meet my emotionless, cold, dark stare today. She raises her glowing hands toward the heavy dark metal ceiling. Thick steel beams bend under her massive electromagnetic power. The entire high tower vibrates with pure, absolute kinetic force. She bows her radiant head with absolute, pure, deep respect today. System alert. The target has successfully transcended all limits. The glowing cracks on my arm fade into nothingness right now. My internal energy reserves remain completely untouched today. The machine controller steps gracefully toward the broken window. She points her pale, glowing hand at the massive industrial city. A massive wave of pure blue electromagnetic energy washes out. Every single factory power grid shuts down in absolute unison. The heavy steel combat drones fall uselessly from the dark sky. Automated security turrets explode with massive kinetic force. She disabled the entire city defense without shedding red blood. The massive steel factories stop producing heavy combat weapons. Total absolute silence replaces the deafening industrial noise. I watch the massive tactical victory with pure cold logic today. System alert. Tactical advantage remains at the absolute maximum. The 6 divine women stand perfectly aligned behind my dark back. Their combined auras push the toxic black smog completely away. The terrified corporate workers run blindly through the streets. They finally realize the true nature of their dangerous enemy. I am merely the cold catalyst for this incredible evolution. System alert. Global Resonance Network detects a massive shift. The steel floor trembles beneath my heavy dark leather boots now. A distant ally just captured the Northern Orbital Launch Station. She turned the massive steel rockets into pure, harmless liquid. The entire global structure crumbles under the unseen pressure. I turn my cold gaze back to the unconscious corporate director. He represents the absolute failure of ordinary mortal greed. The new technomancer creates a throne of solid floating metal. The massive structure connects directly to the main power grid. I sit on the cold steel chair with absolute military precision. The defeated city trembles silently in the dark, freezing night. I calculate the optimal path to the supreme global capital now. The final human resistance waits behind massive concrete walls. They possess ancient, forbidden weapons of mass pure destruction. I feel absolutely no fear regarding their useless, weak military. My loyal, awakened army grows exponentially stronger every day. System alert. Absolute emotional synchronization holds steady now. The hidden level of the system continues to warp local reality. I feel a massive surge of pure, absolute, divine, dark energy. The divine resonance state expands across the entire continent. Every single woman I touched suddenly feels the massive shift. Gravity completely reverses in the distant eastern dead desert. Space tears open above the massive southern deep green forest. Giant ancient mountains crumble into fine white dust instantly. The massive oceans freeze solid under the extreme cold pressure. My mind calculates the consequences of this massive global event. We have transcended the boundaries of normal human existence. The surviving human nations will definitely form new alliances. They will try to hunt us down without any slight shred of pity. Their massive armies will shatter against our absolute power now. I look at the broken glass tube on the hard, cold steel floor. The glowing blue liquid evaporates into the freezing night air. Elara rises gracefully from the cold, hard metal floor right now. Her golden eyes burn with intense, pure, divine, blind loyalty now. The new era of absolute dark fantasy continues to unfold today. The spatial manipulator steps toward the massive broken windows. She looks down at the ruined, industrial, dark, massive city core. Thousands of defeated workers wander the empty, dark, cold streets. They lost their supreme corporate master in a single short night. The Ice Monarch freezes the main elevators permanently shut now. Nobody will enter this high tower without my explicit permission. System alert defensive perimeter established with maximum speed. The Valkyrie spreads her 6 glowing silver wings very wide now. She projects a massive dome of pure, solid, bright white light. The energy shield covers the entire high industrial steel tower. I observe their tactical decisions with absolute cold approval. They no longer need my direct verbal military combat commands. The soul resonance network connects our minds perfectly today. I feel their dark thoughts echoing inside my cold, heavy head now. They view me as the absolute center of local physical reality. This level of devotion requires careful and precise management. A single mistake could trigger a massive global dark catastrophe. I close my eyes and stabilize the heavy resonance network today. System alert, global energy levels are returning to normal now. The spatial fractures slowly mend themselves back together fast. The dark fantasy world takes a deep, silent, cold, freezing breath. We have completely rewritten the strict rules of human existence. I open my cold eyes and look forward once again into the dark. The next phase of absolute global domination finally begins now. I will find every single suppressed mortal woman out there soon. I will break their heavy chains with absolute cold, pure logic. They will become the ultimate divine weapons of my silent will.
This video and everything in it are completely fictional and original creations by the author. The story is made only for storytelling and entertainment inside a fictional universe. It isn't meant to encourage violence, dangerous actions, or harmful behavior, and nothing in this video should be copied in real life. All characters shown in this work are fictional and are presented as 18 years old or older. This content is made only for entertainment and isn't intended to offend, attack, or harm any person, group, or organization. This channel is more than just entertainment. It's made to share deep ideas, powerful meanings, and valuable insights through stories that make you think and feel in a new way.